Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about our digital doppelgangers, the online versions of ourselves. And they're getting more real, more powerful, and honestly, a lot more complicated with every single click.
So let's just jump right in, because this isn't some far-off sci-fi fantasy anymore. I mean, what if your online self felt just as real as your actual physical body? The technology's moving so fast, it's blurring that line, creating experiences our own bodies literally can't tell apart from the real thing.
Okay, check this out. This is an art installation called Caravan, and it uses this really cool concept called synchronous reality. So here's the deal. When you put on a VR headset, the virtual benches you see inside, they perfectly match real physical benches in the room. It makes that digital world feel, well, tangible. You can actually reach out and touch it.
And here's the really wild part. Your body totally buys it. I'm not kidding. Research from Harvard shows that when we feel that sense of presence in VR, our bodies react like it's real. Your heart rate, your skin temperature, everything. The line between what is real and what's perceived as real just, well, it pretty much disappears.
All right, so we've established this technology can fool our senses. Let's look at the dream side of this, the almost utopian vision of what our perfect digital selves could do for us. Because this isn't just about cool VR games. It's about genuinely expanding what it means to be human.
I mean, even the United Nations is looking at this with huge optimism. They see these AI-powered virtual worlds as a way to tackle some of the biggest problems on the planet. Think about it. Totally new ways to collaborate on things like education, healthcare, and even fighting climate change. But it's not just about these big, global ideas. It gets super personal, too. Remember that Caravan installation? For one participant, it wasn't just a cool tech demo. It triggered these deep, personal memories of family trips, and that emotional link, it made this totally virtual space feel safe, calm, and incredibly real. And that's the thing. This tech can be profoundly, unbelievably positive. Take country music legend Randy Travis. After a stroke, he lost his ability to sing. But using generative AI, they were able to create a perfect digital replica of his voice, allowing him to release a brand new song after more than a decade. I mean, that's not just cool tech, that's life-changing.
But here's the flip side. Because the very same technology that can give an artist his voice back, it can also be used to steal one from someone else. You see, every dream has its shadow, and the digital doppelganger, well, it has a really, really dark side.
And this is the core tension, right? On one hand, you've got AI helping Randy Travis sing again. Incredible. But on the other hand, you have a fake Drake song created without his permission going viral. Or even scarier, AI cloning a child's voice for a fake kidnapping scam to trick parents into paying ransom. It's the ultimate double-edged sword, a tool for creation and a weapon for deception. And the scale of how this is being misused, it's just staggering. A 2023 study found that a whopping 98% of all deepfake videos online are sexually explicit, and in 99% of those cases, the targets are women. And look, this isn't just happening to celebrities anymore. Anyone can be a target. The damage can take so many forms. You've got financial fraud, with fake celebrity endorsements tricking people into scams. You have devastating reputational harm from malicious deepfakes. You have political disinformation, fake robocalls trying to swing an election, and of course, the pure emotional terror of those fake kidnapping scams. But the risk here goes even deeper than just hurting individuals. Researchers at Harvard are warning about something they call a cypherpunk dystopia. It's a world where our identities, our social relationships, are all just stripped down to data points in a transaction. It could fundamentally change how we relate to each other as human beings. So, this explosion of unauthorized digital copies of us, it leads to a really fundamental question. I mean, when someone can copy your face, your voice, your entire identity, who actually owns it? Who's in control?
So who owns your face, your voice? Who has the right to use them? Right now, if you're looking for clear answers from the legal system, good luck. The truth is, our laws are struggling to keep up, leaving us in this confusing, inconsistent mess where the tech is just miles ahead of the policy. Okay, so the main legal tool we have right now is something called the right of publicity. Basically, it's supposed to give you control over how your identity is used for commercial purposes. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. It's a state-level right, and that's where all the problems start. Just look at this legal patchwork. It's all over the place. In a state like California, your voice is protected and your likeness is protected even after you die. Great. But then you go to New York and your voice isn't clearly protected. In Pennsylvania, nope, neither is. This creates these massive loopholes. Your rights literally depend on what state you're in, and that leaves a lot of people totally exposed.
And it's not just us saying this isn't working. The experts all agree. The U.S. Copyright Office itself came out and said there's an urgent need for a new federal law. They're basically admitting that our current state-by-state approach just can't handle the speed and the sheer scale of generative AI.
Okay, so we've seen the dream and we've seen the nightmare. The big question now is, what do we do? How do we move forward and build a better, safer digital future for ourselves and for these digital doppelgangers?
Well, the answer has to start right at the bottom, at the very foundations of our digital world. Think of the internet like a building. It has all these different layers of infrastructure. If we want a safer future, we can't just slap some paint on the top floor. We have to build ethics and safety into every single one of these foundational layers, right from the ground up.
And, a potential roadmap for this actually comes from a pretty unexpected field, bioethics. There's this principle called prudent vigilance. It doesn't mean we stop innovating. Not at all. It just means we do it responsibly. We experiment carefully, we're transparent about the risks and the benefits, and we make sure there's real democratic oversight. The goal is to steer this incredible tech toward the public good, not just for private profit. And hey, this isn't just some academic idea. A recent UN call to action lays out these exact priorities. It's about making sure everyone has access, not just a few people. It's about demanding transparency in how AI is being used. It's about giving the next generation the skills to build a better web. And crucially, it's about working together on global standards so our protections aren't just this messy, ineffective patchwork. All of this brings us back to this surprisingly relevant idea from an 18th century philosopher: to be is to be perceived. Centuries old, but think about it. In our world today, how you're perceived online, how your digital doppelganger is seen, how it's used, how it's manipulated, that's becoming a core part of your actual reality. It's part of who you are. So that old philosophical idea leads us to a very real and very personal question for right now. As this digital version of you gets more and more real, who are you allowing it to become? Because ultimately, the choices we make today, as individuals, as a society, about our technology, our laws, our ethics, those choices will define the very nature of identity itself for a long, long time to come.